Alright, let's dive into something that's both fascinating and a little alarming, a story about a woman in Riverhead who contracted tularemia, or what's commonly known as a rabbit fever, from a cat bite. Now, I know what you're thinking, how does a cat bite lead to something called rabbit fever? Let me break it down for you, but more importantly, let me share why this story is way more intriguing than it seems at first glance. First off, what makes this really interesting is the chain of events that led to this infection. The woman was simply trying to give her outdoor cat medication when it bit her. Seems like a minor incident, right? But here's the kicker, that cat had likely been exposed to ticks or sick animals outdoors, which are known carriers of tularemia. This raises a deeper question, how often do we consider the risks our pets face when they roam outside? Personally, I think this story highlights a blind spot many pet owners might have. We love our furry friends, but we don't always think about the diseases they could bring home. Now, let's talk about tularemia itself. It's a rare disease, but it's not something to brush off. According to the CDC, there are only about 150 to 200 cases in the US each year, but the fact that Suffolk County has seen 4 cases this year alone is noteworthy. What many people don't realize is that tularemia isn't just transmitted by ticks, it can also spread through contact with infected animals, contaminated water, or even inhaling contaminated dust. If you take a step back and think about it, this disease is a reminder of how interconnected our ecosystems are. A sick rabbit in the woods can indirectly affect a human in their home, which is both fascinating and a little unsettling. One thing that immediately stands out is the role of cats in this story. Cats, especially outdoor ones, are notably susceptible to tularemia. A 2024 study highlighted that young adult cats are at higher risk due to their frequent exposure to ticks and small mammals. This makes me wonder, are we doing enough to protect our pets from these risks? I mean, we vaccinate them for common diseases, but how often do we consider the rarer ones? From my perspective, this story is a wake-up call for pet owners to be more proactive about their animals' health. Another detail I find fascinating is the human impact of this disease. The woman in Riverhead is recovering, but her story isn't unique. There's also the case of a 9-year-old boy in the same county who was bitten by a tick and developed a severe infection. His mother mentioned that recovery is slow, which really drives home the point that these aren't just statistics, they're real people dealing with serious health issues. What this really suggests is that we need to be more aware of the risks in our environment, especially as we spend more time outdoors during warmer months. If you're like me, you're probably wondering how concerned we should be. Personally, I think the key is awareness, not panic. Tularemia is treatable with antibiotics, but early detection is crucial. The symptoms, high fever, swollen lymph nodes, and sores, can easily be mistaken for other illnesses. What makes this tricky is that many people might not even realize they've been exposed until it's too late. This raises a broader question. How can we better educate ourselves and our communities about these lesser-known diseases? In my opinion, this story is a perfect example of how local incidents can shed light on bigger trends. Tularemia cases might be rare, but they're on the rise in certain areas, and that's something worth paying attention to. It's not just about protecting ourselves, it's about understanding the complex web of interactions between humans, animals, and the environment. If we can take anything away from this, it's that even the smallest incidents can have significant implications. So, here's my closing thought. Next time your pet comes in from outdoors, take a moment to think about where they've been and what they might have encountered. It's not about living in fear, but about being informed and proactive. What do you think? Are we doing enough to protect ourselves and our pets from these hidden risks? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more thought-provoking stories like this one.